Good evening, good evening. What's going on, folks? Welcome to another live edition of Carolina Panthers Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming, here on the U to the Tube, and the Facebook, and the Twitch. That's right, all three. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody's been doing well and having a good week so far. It is Thursday, May 12th of 2022, and it is a special day for all pro football NFL fans, as today at about 8 p.m. Well, right now it's 7:58 p.m. EST. I'm in EST, but they should be dropping the full schedule for each of the teams in the NFL at 8 p.m. So, gonna dedicate this time to go through the schedule. You know, we take a look, see what the Carolina Panthers going to be working with this year. And, you know, kind of come to a couple of thoughts as to how this team could potentially do this year. We already know what opponents will have for our home games and for our away games, but we're going to actually see what order these games are going to be played in. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. And like I said, we're going to go through each game. I also want to give something for the folks to think about. One question that I do want to raise as well with the stream tonight, I really want to get some good input on this, is overacts on this roster. Are you satisfied? Still a lot that's up in the air about the idea of going out to get a veteran quarterback. But looks like they are not in a rush. But with the core that we have, I just it's up in the air, and I definitely see things kind of split down the middle when it comes to that. Because we have to think of, you know, we still have PJ Walker, Sam Darnold back. So, I mean, a lot of folks wanted a quarterback to be drafted. That's what we did. So, I mean, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what happens. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. But yeah, so just waiting anxiously. Oh, also, a big shout out and a big happy birthday. First off, I want to give a happy belated birthday to Cam Newton. His birthday was just a day or two ago, I believe. He turned 33 years old. So, happy belated birthday to Cameron Jarrell Newton, the franchise's only ever MVP. Helped take this team to a Super Bowl appearance in 2015. Definitely, arguably, one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback, in the Carolina Panthers franchise. And then, I want to give a happy birthday shout out to Mr. Steve Smith Sr., Agent 89, who turned 43 today. Pretty much the greatest wide receiver in Carolina Panthers history. Always played with a chip on his shoulder. And he's my all-time favorite Panther. All-time favorite Panther. So, happy birthday, Agent 89, Steve Smith Sr. Okay, so, alright. It looks like, I just got the notification, so it looks like the schedules are now live. So, let's take a look. Let's see what we're working with. I think they're just slow to populate, but here, let me refresh. and then we'll get right to it. Ah! Hold up. Okay, here we go. The schedule is in. Alrighty. So not only the regular season, but also the preseason schedule. So let's switch gears and let's take a look. Alrighty. I'm looking at Carolina Panthers.com. So here's the preseason schedule. So here are our 3 preseason games. 2 of them away and 1 at home. So we got the Washington football team, the Washington Commanders, the New England Patriots, and the Buffalo Bills. Those are our 3 preseason games. Huh, no Steelers. Huh, that's a first in a long time. But yep, no Steelers. So the Commanders, the Patriots, and then the Bills. All right, let's get to the regular season, the good stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, Week 1, we will actually be opening against the Cleveland Browns. Going to be opening against the Cleveland Browns, the team that ended up getting Deshaun Watson, who the Carolina Panthers did try to pursue. But yes, and let's also remember, the last time we played the Browns, we lost. We lost. So just keep that in mind. And by the way, Baker Mayfield was the quarterback when we lost. Just saying. All right, and then our first away game will be against the New York Giants, which we lost to them as well last season. Lost to them badly last season, so we'll have an opportunity to get revenge. And then we have Week 3, which will be our first NFC South division game, which will be at home against the New Orleans Saints. Now, we split with the Saints last season. We did beat them at home. We beat them at home, but we lost to them on the road. So we start out against them at home this season. And then Week 4, we play against the Arizona Cardinals, which, at the time that we played and beat the Arizona Cardinals last season, they were the number 1 ranked team at the time. So, thankfully we've had the Cardinals number for, the last few seasons. So we'll see what happens there. All right, Week 5. Oh, so we got 3 home games in a row. So the Saints, then the Cardinals, and then Week 5 going up against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, if I remember correctly, our last matchup against them, they destroyed us. I think Christian McCaffrey was like the only player that even did some damage. But then again, when we last played them was when we had Kyle Allen at quarterback. So, I'm sure things will be different now. But yeah, the last time we played the Niners, they destroyed us. All right. Week 6, we got on the road against the Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. It's going to be a very, very tough game. But yeah, that'll be on the road. And then we played the Bucks for the first time in the season at home in Week 7. Of course, we got stomped by them back-to-back last season, so it's going to be tough. And then Week 8, we go play at Atlanta. So our first meeting with Atlanta is in Atlanta. Now, of course, the last time we played Atlanta in Atlanta, we did win, but we did split with them last season. So it's definitely potentially going to be an interesting matchup, especially considering they no longer have Matt Ryan. All right, Week 9, it's another away game against the Cincinnati Bengals, who won last year's AFC Championship and played in the Super Bowl. Hey, what's up, DP Clash? This is the Carolina Panthers, panthers.com/schedule. So that's where I'm looking at this. But I also got the notification from ESPN So it should also be on ESPN.com as we speak. But yes, so week 9 on the road against the Bengals. So we got to play both teams that played in the Super Bowl last year. All right, and then week 10, we're back at home against Atlanta. So, wow, within a span of 2 weeks, we got to play Atlanta. So, be able to knock out that matchup rather quickly this year. So, first on the road against Atlanta in week 8, and then at home against Atlanta in week 10. And that's actually a Thursday nighter. So, that's a Thursday night game. The second meeting against Atlanta. And then we got week 11, which will be on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. It's been a hot minute since we last played the Ravens. If I remember correctly, the Ravens beat us. If I remember correctly. It's been so long since we played them. As a matter of fact, no. We played them in the preseason. That's the last time I remember, but I don't remember the last time we played them in the regular season. Let's see. And then week 12, which is the last game before the bye, will be at home against the Denver Broncos, which Denver Broncos is another team. Last time we played them, they beat us. They had Drew Lock, but now they'll have Russell Westbrook. So week 13 is our bye. So we got another late bye. We got a late bye this year. So, whew, it's going to really be crunch time come late in the season. And then after the bye, we come into week 14 on the road against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I know that team has changed quite a bit, but you know, Seattle's a hard place to play at. It's a hard place to play at. So just keep in mind. And then week 15, we're back at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that has typically had the Panthers' number for years. I think the last time that the Panthers beat the Steelers was in a preseason game. So just keep that in mind. But that'll be a home game. And then we got a Christmas Eve game against the Detroit Lions. That'll be at home. So that'll be our Christmas Eve game. That should be interesting. I mean, last time we played the Lions, we shut them out with PJ Walker as the starting quarterback. All right, and then week 17. Week 17 will be the second meeting on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then week 18 will be on the road once again to finish off the season against the New Orleans Saints. And that time is to be announced. Hey, what's up, Jeff R? Thank you for coming through. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. But yeah. So that is our 2022 going into 2023 Carolina Panthers schedule. Whew. This is going to be rather tough. This is going to be rather tough. So let's take a look. Not going to dive too much in the preseason, but it'll be good to see what our rookies and such look like in the preseason games as they get prepared for the regular season. But once again, to reiterate, we got the Commanders, the Patriots, and the Bills. 2 away games and then a home game for preseason. All right, let's start diving in. So the Cleveland Browns. We open against the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, Jeff R, doing well, thanks. Tough schedule, huh? Yeah, it definitely looks pretty tough. Let's get into it. So we open up against the Cleveland Browns. Now, as I said before, the last time we played the Cleveland Browns, we lost, and they did have they had a pretty convincing win against us. I mean, it was a long while ago, but still. Um, and also, remember, they have Deshaun Watson now. I'm not sure, depending on how the whole legal stuff goes, maybe Deshaun Watson will play. Maybe not. Maybe he'll have to serve a suspension for the first half of the season or however many games. That's very possible. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Jeff R says week 1 when D Watson won't be playing, which is very possible. But let's also keep in mind, Jeff R, each time that the Carolina Panthers have gone up against Deshaun Watson, we've won. So I'm not too worried. But, let's keep in mind, every time we've played Deshaun Watson, we've won. So, I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried. If anything, this will be a good starting test because, we have to also look at, some of the things that, the Browns have been doing. I'm sure they made some upgrades. One of the things that's been said is, a big test, say if Ike Ekwonu does indeed start, he'll have to go up against a Myles Garrett. So that'll actually be a good, strong test for him. And, just really getting our players into a groove. Rashard Higgins will be going up against his old team. There's a possibility that Baker Mayfield will have a presence in this game if Watson doesn't start. Jeff R says true, but Cleveland has weapons. Exactly. You know what? Let's take a look at said Cleveland. Like I said, we gonna be here for a good while. So I mean, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and like I said, we'll have to see how the quarterback situation looks. But they picked up Amari Cooper. So I mean, they definitely got some weapons. So I expect the offense to, definitely pose a challenge for our young defense. And like I said, Myles Garrett, somebody got to worry about. And Sheldon Day as well. That D-line's going to be a tough D-line. Let's see. It should be a good start. It should be a good test, opening game for the Panthers. Jeff R says, I think Fitterer said Icky is going to start at left tackle. Yeah, not too surprised. I felt like maybe there was going to be some competition, but it sounds like they are confident in planning for Icky to be the starting left tackle for the Carolina Panthers. So, makes sense. Definitely makes sense. But to be honest, with y'all, I think this could be a win. I definitely think this could be a win. We'll have to see how everything gels. But, we won our opening game last year. So, I mean, there's that. And I know this will be a tougher test. But, if we're getting everybody healthy and just, a fresh start, I really feel like we can do some damage, hopefully, in this game. And I think it's a good test. It's a good test. And that's going to really show some things of what this team looks like. But yeah. Opening game against the Cleveland Browns. Should be good. Like I said, they beat us the last meeting. So we owe them one. We owe them one. All right. Week number 2 will be the first away game, and it'll be against the New York Giants. I definitely expect this to be a win. We had no business losing to this team last year and only scoring a field goal. A field goal. Now, I'm not too sure what kind of changes the Giants have made. I know they had a good draft. They did have a good draft, I will say that. But honestly, I really think we should be able to take this team. We should be able to take this team. I don't know if Saquon Barkley's going to be healthy. Perhaps. And I know they're going to have quite a bit of competition at quarterback. Maybe, perhaps, they'll start Tyrod Taylor. Not sure, but they have him. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Jeff R says, win week 2. Oh, you're predicting a win? I honestly really feel like we should win this game. I mean, as far as weapons, I mean, Saquon Barkley, if he's healthy, Kenny Golladay, Sterling Shepard. I mean, there's not really too many threats on that offense for the Giants. But I know, they drafted Kayvon Thibodeau, so we have to, keep him in mind. That was one of their first round draft picks. But honestly, we should be able to beat this team. Like, with how badly we lost to them last year, like, there's really no excuse. So, I mean, there's a chance we might not beat the Browns, but we most definitely should beat the Giants. Like, I don't know about y'all, but we should definitely be able to beat the Giants. Barring anything crazy injury-wise or whatnot, we should be able to stomp the Giants into the ground. I'm just keeping it real. Week 3. Back at home. First NFC South Division game against the New Orleans Saints. Now, of course, we beat them in the first meeting last year. But, we did end up splitting with them. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's definitely going to be tough. I mean, you don't want to sleep on the division games. Because, I mean, we have not staked claim of the division in a long time. In a number of years. But do have some interesting folks to keep an eye out. I mean, they picked up extended Jameis Winston. And apparently they got Andy Dalton as well. So, decent backup, I guess. And let's not sleep on Alvin Kamara. Of course, he's a threat. One of their best. Don't know what the deal is with Michael Thomas. I mean, is he even ever gonna really get back to form or what? And of course they drafted Chris Olave. They drafted him. So I mean, we beat them the first time, but they're gonna be tough. Oh yeah, so they technically do have Taysom Hill at tight end. Huh, look at that. And if anything, definitely... Oh yeah, that's right, they did draft Trevor Penning as well. Hopefully we'll be able to have our way with Trevor Penning. Like, if some way, somehow he ends up starting. Because I did not think the film on him was that good, personally. And then, got to keep an eye out for that D-line. Taco Charlton, Marcus Davenport, Cam Jordan. That D-line is going to be tough. We don't want to sleep on that D-line. David Onemata. That D-line is going to be tough. Week 3 win. It's a home game. Saints are rebuilding. Yeah, they are doing, a decent bit of rebuilding, some shuffling around, but I think they could still potentially be a threat especially on the defense. Like I said, they still got a very solid D-line. I know they drafted Smoke Monday at safety as well, and they picked up Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, at safety. So, and of course Marshawn Lattimore. So I mean, if anything, their defense is still a threat. Their defense is definitely still a threat. So, hopefully we can pull it off. But I'm really concerned with that defense. Offense, I'm not too big of a concern with, but that defense is still strong. Defense is still really strong. Okay. Week 4 is another home game against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, let's be honest. Lately, we've had the Cardinals number. I think ever since that NFC Championship win, we've pretty much have had the Cardinals number. So, I mean, Kyler Murray, I mean, you don't want to sleep on him. He still does well until about playoff time. Then he kind of falls off. But let's not sleep on Kyler Murray. Then, of course, James Conner. They got Marquise Brown, A.J. Green, DeAndre Hopkins. Which, I think there was something up with DeAndre Hopkins. Somebody remind me. Somebody remind. I think there's something up with DeAndre Hopkins, but I could be wrong. I thought there was something about him in the reports. But if not, they got a load of wide receivers. They got a decent load of those. So, something to keep in mind there. Jeff R says, I know this is crazy, but I think week 4 is also a win. I feel like it. Oh yeah, that's right. They got Zach Ertz as well. Jeez. I'm hoping it is just based on history, but I don't know. I don't know, because Cardinals, they've improved their roster as well. And I know we did beat them. We did beat them last year. But I think they gonna want to make a statement. And then defense, of course, JJ Watt. Let's see. Of course, Isaiah Simmons at linebacker. Just a couple of names. I mean, we were able to do some damage to that defense last year. That's for sure. We were definitely able to do some damage, but they still got a pretty stacked offense. So, I'm hoping, just based on history, we can continue that streak going. But yeah. And it is a home game, so here's hoping that it works out. Okay, week 5 is another home. So yeah, we got 3 home games in a row. So week 5 is at home against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, Jeff R says Hopkins won't be playing. Okay, so I knew there was something up. He like suspended or something like that? Didn't he like get was it PEDs or something like that? I could have sworn I remember hearing something that he was going to be serving a suspension. Okay, so I'm not crazy. So, let me see. San Francisco 49ers. Oh, okay. PEDs. Gotcha. That's what I thought. Thank you for the confirmation, Jeff R. That's what I thought. I thought I had heard something about that. So, thank you. Thank you for that confirmation. I gotta be honest with y'all. 49ers might be a loss. as much as I hate to say it, 49ers might be a loss. Now, I don't know what's going to go down with the quarterback situation. I don't know if Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be healthy or if this is going to be the opportunity that Trey Lance steps in. But I just have a feeling this could be a loss. Whether it's the first loss or whatnot, this might end up being a loss. I mean, it's been a while since we've beaten the Niners. They, in a way, they've kind of had our number recently. So, Niners are going to be tough. Of course, Deebo Samuel, which I know there's a lot still going on with him. There's a lot going on with him, and Deebo, we're not even sure if he's going to end up being traded or holding out. But I mean, still somebody to take a note of. Jeff R says Week 5 win. No Deebo and Trey Lance isn't a threat. They're also rebuilding. Trey Lance might not be a threat. I mean, he might become one by that time. That remains to be seen, but he might become one by that time, especially being if Jimmy Garoppolo isn't ready to play. Not to mention, George Kittle ate us up the last meeting. George Kittle ate us up. Not only did George Kittle eat us up, but so did Nick Bosa. And that's ultimately my big concern is the Niners defense. Nick Bosa ate us up the last meeting. Not only that, but they got a lot of experience on that D-line. And let's also keep in mind of the backs. Still got Dante Johnson. Let's see. But their defense, they got a good combination of young and veterans. Not to mention, I mean, you got to remember, they were in the playoffs. They were in the playoffs, so I really feel like it's going to be a tough game. I feel like it's going to be a tough game. I hope I'm wrong. I'll be happy to be wrong, but... And Jeff R., you make some good points, though. You do make some good points. 49ers don't have a running game, and our cornerbacks are too good for Lance. Our offensive line is way better than last year. This is true. This is true. Our cornerbacks, like I said, I'm hoping that CJ Henderson can really break out. Same thing with Keith Taylor. I don't know how much time Barnes will see. Kalen Barnes will see, but we got a young group of cornerbacks, and like I said, that have been evolving and have been pretty strong. So hopefully that'll show up and show out, Jeff R. Hopefully. Week 6 will be on the road against the defending Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. Now, the last Super Bowl team that we went up against was the Chiefs. Came really close, but couldn't quite pull it off. To be honest with y'all, whoo, it's going to take a miracle to beat the Rams. Matthew Stafford is playing some of his best football in his whole career. You still got a dangerous Cam Akers. You still got Cooper Kupp, who really Cooper Kupp should have been MVP of the regular season, if you ask me. It's been forever since the wide receiver's gotten that, but I felt like he should have been MVP. Jeff R says week 6 loss. Yeah, honestly, I believe that. I do believe that. And of course they got Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee. I mean, they got a deadly offense packed with Matthew Stafford leading the charge. I know they've had to make a little bit of tweaks to their O-line, but I don't think it'll be that big of a difference. And then, of course, at the D-line, you got Aaron Donald. Big, nasty Aaron Donald. And, of course, linebacker, you got Leonard Floyd leading the charge with that. And, of course, do they still have Jalen Ramsey? Yep, Jalen Ramsey. And remember, they picked up Bobby Wagner. That's right. Because Von Miller left, they went and got Bobby Wagner. So, definitely they're a very much complete team still. Even after losing Odell Beckham Jr. and Andrew Whitworth, they're still a very complete team. And yes, Jeff R. Rams are a good team, good coach. Yep, good old Sean McVay. Pretty much in his prime right now. He's in his coaching prime. So, Matt Rule gon' either some way, somehow pull it off, or Matt Rule is going to get extremely embarrassed. He's already been outcoached quite a bit last 2 seasons. So, yeah, that's probably going to be a loss. Hate to say it, probably going to be a loss. And then we got to turn around and go back home week 7 and play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay, which we haven't even split Tampa Bay in like a few years, y'all. So Tampa Bay, I'm not even convinced that we'll split with Tampa Bay. You got a returning Tom Brady. And that team's still very solid. Giovanni Bernard, Leonard Fournette, Kenyon Barner, Mike Evans. They brought in Russell Gage. Bringing back I believe extended Chris Godwin. Oh yeah, that's right. Brashard Perryman. Still got O.J. Howard. Cameron Brate. Or no, actually I don't see O.J. Howard on there. Huh, interesting. Jeff R. says week 7 loss to the Bucs. Yeah, it seems very likely if you ask me. And then but yeah, still solid on the offense. And then on defense, still got William Golston, Vita Vea, Shaquille Barrett, Levante David. I mean, they got a killer defense as well. Ross Cockrell, former Carolina Panther. Sean Murphy-Bunting. Logan Ryan, which I think they just acquired. Antoine Whitfield Jr. They're still a complete team. Oh, thank you, Jeff R. O.J. Howard's with the Bills now. Thank you for confirmation. I appreciate that. Jarrett Cole says, "Hey, Jace. Hey, what's up? Even with all that tough schedule, even the NFL wants Matt Rule gone." Dang. Well, one thing's for sure, he's gonna be tested this year. He gonna be tested. I know he's got a better supporting coaching staff, but Matt Rule gonna be tested. He's gonna have to pull out the big guns. He's gonna have to pull out the big guns. But yeah, in all honesty, even though this is a home game, I don't see the Panthers pulling it off. I really don't. All right. Then the first meeting with Atlanta is on the road. Week 8. Week 8 against Atlanta. Now, here's the thing with Atlanta. Yes, we did break the curse. We were able to beat them in Atlanta. We did break the curse. But Atlanta's another team that we split against. You know, we haven't shut out Atlanta in a long time either. So Atlanta's going to be interesting. I think on paper Carolina should win, but it has to be one of those as long as they don't screw up badly, kind of like that Giants game last season. Jeff R says week 8 will be a win. Yeah, honestly, on paper, I feel like it should be. I mean, looking at this offense, I mean, Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder might see some action depending on what happens. Cordell Patterson is still kind of, I guess he's kind of a threat. I mean, he's a run and pass catching running back. They don't have Mike Davis anymore. I believe he went to the Ravens. Their wide receiver core, I mean, Calvin Ridley, he's going to be suspended for the season for gambling, so no Calvin Ridley. They did draft Drake London, so Drake London, who knows? Maybe Drake London could become a threat. Zacchaeus, Damiere Byrd, former Panther, has speed on him. I mean, if anything, the main two I would keep an eye on are Drake London and, of course, Kyle Pitts. Like I said, Cordell Patterson could be a threat as well on the run game and on the pass, or on catching, but yeah, I don't see a lot of threats there on offense, to be honest. Jarrett Cole says, which games are you going to, Jason? I actually have no idea. I definitely want to go to at least maybe one or two, but that's a good question. I'll have to look at the I'll have to compare that schedule with mine just to see about checking out some games. I definitely would like to go to maybe at least one or two, but yeah, I'm not too sure yet. What about y'all? Let me know. Are any of y'all going to any games? Definitely let me know. I believe tickets supposed to go on sale at 9 p.m. EST, which is only about 19 minutes away. So hey, the Atlanta defense. Let's see. Who's really a threat on the Atlanta defense? I mean, Grady Jarrett. There's Grady Jarrett. There's Vincent Taylor. Well, Casey Hayward Jr., of course. AJ Terrell. I don't know, y'all. We probably, honestly, if there's any team that we could probably sweep in the NFC South, it's probably Atlanta. Now that I'm looking at this, we probably should be able to sweep Atlanta. If no other team in the NFC South, we should be able to sweep Atlanta. I think we should be able to sweep Atlanta. What do y'all think? Y'all think we should be able to sweep Atlanta? I think we should be able to sweep Atlanta. personally. I think we should be able to sweep Atlanta. But we'll see. But I think we should be able to sweep them. Okay, week 9. Week 9, another away game against the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals, who also played in the Super Bowl. Whew. Well, Cincinnati could potentially be another L. Joe Burrow had a great season last year. He was about to enter into his 3rd year. And you know, Joe Mixon, don't want to sleep on Joe Mixon. Jamar Chase, that was his bread and butter. Jamar Chase, definitely a threat in the receiving game. Hayden Hurst. Let's see. Not sure how much they may have upgraded their O-line. That I'm not sure, but you know, maybe that's something that we can exploit. I mean, they did have O-line struggles, so maybe that's something we can exploit. And then on defense, DJ Reader, BJ Hill, Eli Apple, who didn't do too well with the Panthers, that's for sure. But then again, Eli Apple played in the Super Bowl, so can't really give him any crap. He played in the Super Bowl. Trey Flowers, Von Bell, Michael Thomas. If anything, they got a little bit more of a threat on defense. But, like I said, Bengals are still a great team. They're a much better team than us. So, I don't know, y'all. I'm thinking this is probably going to be a loss. It might end up being close, but I think it's going to be a loss. But it could be close, though. And then, right back at home against Atlanta, the Thursday night game. Week 10, Thursday nighter. Like I said, we should be able to sweep Atlanta. I think we should be able to sweep Atlanta. Week 11, back on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens. Eep, eep, eep. Ravens. Well, Lamar Jackson's not too happy with the Baltimore Ravens draft. So, I don't know. Maybe Lamar Jackson will act up and be a baby about it. I don't know. But Lamar Jackson wasn't too happy. He was actually pretty pissed. But, Lamar Jackson's a former MVP, so is he a threat? Of course. Of course he's a threat. On offense, like I said, they did get Mike Davis, power running back. Who do they have at receiver that's a threat? They got a lot of rookie receivers. I don't really see any notable threats at receiver. I don't know. Maybe I'll have a little bit more of an idea about some of these receivers on the Ravens, but I I'm not familiar with a lot of these guys, and a lot of these guys are young and rookies. So, yeah, I don't know. Uh, let's see. Nick Boyle, tight end, very very well experienced. But oh yeah, that's right. They did draft Tyler Lindenbaum at center. That's right. Sure did. But oh yeah, that's right. They do have Calais Campbell on D. Um, Josh Bynes as well. Michael Pierce. So Ravens are going to be known about defense. So yeah, Marlon Humphrey, Kayvon Seymour, Marcus. Oh yeah, Marcus Peters, of course. Uh, oh yeah, that's right. They also drafted Kyle Hamilton as well, and of course they got Tony Jefferson the second. So yeah, still pretty strong on defense. Jarrett Cole says, Jason, you heard about Mike Davis got robbed. Yeah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I saw Big Cat on Keep Pounding TV. Shout out to him. I remember catching some of his stream where it was breaking news. But yeah, it was something like his house got robbed and they took like, what was it, $100,000 worth of jewelry or stuff like that. I was just like, dang. That sucks. But yeah, I hope he's able to get compensated or whatnot, or get the stuff or whatever back. But that sucks for sure. That sucks for sure. But yeah, never good to hear about somebody getting robbed. So hopefully everything will work out for him and get his stuff back, or something equivalent to that. But anyways, I don't know, y'all. I mean, maybe the Ravens could be a victory, but I don't know. They still got a killer defense. They still got a killer defense, and they even added to that, even with the draft. So, I mean, this could be a loss. This could be a loss. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff R. Jeff R says week 9 loss, week 10 a win, week 11 a loss. So week 9, you say week 9 against the Bengals a loss, week 10 to win, week 11 a loss. Yeah, only because that Ravens defense, like, that's what they've been known for years, is that defense. So, and that's in Baltimore as well. Okay, and then the last game before we go into the bye, week 12 against the Denver Broncos. Now, Denver Broncos have gone through quite some changes, but at the same time, our last meeting with the Denver Broncos, we lost, and Drew Lock had his way with us, and we lost. So, but now, out Drew Lock, enter Russell Wilson. Now, we have some history with Russell Wilson. We've beaten him before, and we've lost to him. So, there's some history there. Russell Wilson, Melvin Gordon III, still there. Jerry Jeudy, but I think something went down. I think there was a report about Jerry Jeudy. I think he got arrested. So not even sure if Jerry Jeudy will even be available. But yeah, I think I heard about something about him getting arrested for something. But yeah, we lost to Denver last meeting. Trying to see. I want to say they got some upgrades on defense, perhaps? I don't know. Oh yeah, Randy Gregory. That's right. Bradley Chubb. Oh yeah, Ronald Darby. Cornerback Ronald Darby. Patrick Surtain II. Oh yeah, that's right. That was their draft pick last year. So I mean, Kareem Jackson at safety, of course. Jeff R says, "Oh, domestic violence." Okay, thank you. I knew it was something. I knew I heard he got arrested for something. So domestic violence. Picking week 12 a loss. Jared Cole says it's a toss-up. It could go either way, but like I said, Russell Wilson at the helm. It looks like they've made a few changes. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure what we're gonna get out of the Broncos. So it could go either way. And then, like I said, week 13 is our bye. Another late bye. Which leaves us with 5 games left after the bye. So this is gonna be pretty interesting for these final 5 games. So let's take a look. We come out of the bye on the road against Seattle Seahawks. In Seattle. So I think the last time we played the Seahawks, we lost. As a matter of fact, I think the last time we beat the Seahawks was when Cam Newton was still our quarterback. But I'm under the assumption, I'm guessing Geno Smith will probably... It's going to be a toss-up between Geno Smith and Drew Lock for that starting position, that starting quarterback. Oh, so Jeff R is predicting 7-5 at the bye. Which, probably wouldn't be too bad. 7-5 at the bye. And have a chance to finish strong. That's probably not too bad. 7-5 at the bye. Could probably do something with that. But this Seahawks team, I mean, in a way, they are kind of still in a rebuild. In a way, when you think about it. I mean, no Russell Wilson. I mean, the Legion of Boom is pretty much disbanded to a point. I don't really see any threats on offense except for DK Metcalf. Yeah, that's really the only threat I see on offense is DK Metcalf. Yeah. Yeah, Jeff R, you said it. Seahawks not that good rebuilding. I mean, when you think about it, yeah, they kind of are rebuilding. I know they drafted Charles Cross, so beefed up the O-line just a little bit, but let's see. On defense, still got Shelby Harris, still got Quentin Jefferson. But yeah, I mean, like I said, no more Legion of Boom. So there's that. Still got Quandre Diggs. But I mean, honestly, oh, that's right, Jarrett. I forgot all about. In all honesty, we should probably win this game. Like there really doesn't seem like many threats. I mean, it could potentially be difficult because I mean, let's keep it a buck. Seattle's a hard place to play. Now we have won in Seattle before. I will say that we have won in Seattle, but it is a hard place to play. Much rebuilding. They don't have a running game nor a quarterback. Yeah, like, which I think that surprised a lot of folks, Jeff R. Because I mean, one would have thought they would have drafted like a Malik Willis or, a Kenny Pickett, which they had a chance to get either of those two. So, like I said, either Drew Lock or Geno will probably win that starting position. But at the same time, Jeff R., we did lose to Drew Lock. So, But ultimately, I think this should be a win. I do agree. I believe this should be a win. Even though it's being played in Seattle, I think this should be a win. This should be a win. Okay, week 15, we'll be back at home. First home game out of the bye against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to tell y'all right now, this is most likely going to be a loss. I just don't see us beating Pittsburgh. We have rarely beaten Pittsburgh. I don't even remember a regular season game where we last beat Pittsburgh. I mean, I know quarterback situation, Mitchell Trubisky and Kenny Pickett are going to be battling it out. But Pittsburgh's still quite a threat. Najee Harris, they got him. Trey Edmonds. Chase Claypool. Get Pat Freiermuth. I don't even know if I said that correctly. At tight end. But if anything, that defense is what's going to really stand out for the Steelers. Of course, Cameron Hayward. Miles Jack. Of course. TJ Watt. The dangerous TJ Watt. But yeah, Terrell Edmonds, Carl Joseph. They got a tough defense, y'all. They got an insanely tough defense. And I honestly, like I said, I honestly don't see us beating the Steelers. Steelers have had our number for years. I mean, yeah, we got the home game, but yeah, I don't see us beating the Steelers. Okay. And then we stay at home. So this will be the last home game of the season. Last home game of the season will be on Christmas Eve against the Detroit Lions. Jarrett Cole says, when we lost against Pittsburgh Steelers in 2019 was when Bosa injured Cam Newton. Yes, that's correct. He took that hit, and that was also when that's also when Dante Jackson got burnt on the deep ball by I keep forgetting, was it Antonio Brown or Juju Smith-Schuster? It was Juju, wasn't it? Or was it Antonio Brown? I can't remember. But Dante got embarrassed on the deep ball. Oh yeah, TJ Watt. I think he meant TJ Watt. But refresh my memory. Who dusted Dante Jackson on that touchdown? Was it Antonio Brown or was it Juju Smith-Schuster? I know it was one of those two. I want to say it was Juju, but I keep forgetting. But Oh, it was Antonio Brown. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because I remember that game. We scored on the first drive. Christian McCaffrey looked excellent, and then we just, whew, yeah, and it was just bad. It was just downhill because Steelers came back and scored really quick, and we just weren't able to bounce back. But yeah, that was rough. That was pretty much the beginning of the end for Cam Newton. But let's look at the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, last home game of the season is against Detroit. Jeff R says week 15 a loss, week 16 a win. So, Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions will be, let's see. Still got Jared Goff. I'm trying to think, of course, the last time we played the Lions, we did shut them out, 20-0. And that was when they had Matthew Stafford. That's the craziest thing about that. Honest. I mean, I guess maybe Jamal Williams at running back, but I don't really see any threats on offense. Yeah. I mean, they drafted Aiden Hutchinson on the D-line, so I mean, they got him. He can potentially be a threat on the D-line. Honestly, there's Jeff Okudah, but I heard he hasn't been too good since his debut. Honestly, this should be a win. I don't really see anything threatening from the Detroit Lions, y'all. In all honesty. I mean, this should be a win, personally. I think this should be a win. I mean, I don't even have anything specific to say about this team, just based on what I see. So, yeah. And then we got 2 remaining away games, 2 back-to-back division games to finish the season off. We got the second meeting against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the second meeting against the New Orleans Saints. The Bucs, like I said, I'm not convinced that we have enough to beat them. I'm just not convinced. And then the Saints, you know, there's a chance we'll probably split with the Saints. That's very, very possible. It's very possible. So, this is interesting, y'all. This is interesting. So, let's do a quick tally. Let's go back through. I'm gonna get myself a note card. Here, I'm gonna put the camera back on me. I'm going to bust out a note card. Okay. We're just going to do a quick recap and just take a vote. Week 1 against the Browns at home. Win or loss? I'm thinking win. I'm going with a win. I know Jeff R said a win as well. Jarrett Cole, what you think? Anybody else in the chat? Jeff R thinks overall record 9-8. Okay. I'm actually jot that down, so I'll have a note of that. 9-8 from Jeff R. Okay, Jarrett Cole says a win for the Browns. Joe Valesco. Hey, Joe Valesco. There you are. I was wondering where you were. So, we're all in agreement. A win for the Browns. Week 1. Okay, week 2. On the road against the New York Giants. What y'all think about that? I'm thinking should be a win. Personally. I think we can bounce back and get revenge. We should have beat them last year, but I think we can get it right this time. So I'm going to predict a win. So, Joe Valesco, win for the Panthers. Okay. I know Jeff R. said a win as well. Okay. Jarrett Cole, you going with a win as well for Panthers? I think it's safe to say that should be a win. Should definitely be a win. Right on. Okay. At home. I'm going to go out on a limb and say win. I believe Jeff R. also said a win as well. Yeah, he did say a win. Okay. But yeah, I'm thinking a win against the Saints as well at home. Okay. And that's our first NFC South division game. So we get tested in week 3 with the Saints. So Joe Valesco, Jarrett Cole, you thinking win for the Saints or win for the Panthers against the Saints as well? I'm thinking I'm a continue to go based off history. I'm a go based off history. And I'm a go with a win. Jeff R. also went with a win as well against the Cardinals. We've had their number. We've had their number lately. I think that's going to continue. I think it should continue. I think we've really proved we could do damage last year by beating them when we did, and the way that we did. So that's what I'm thinking. Week 5 is at home against the 49ers. Personally, gotcha, Jarrett Cole. Win for the Cardinals as well. Gotcha. Okay, week 5 against the Niners at home. I know this sounds crazy, but I got a bad feeling this is going to be a loss. I just have a bad feeling. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm going to say a loss. I know Jeff R. went with a win. Oh, Jarek and Joe Valesco both are saying loss as well. Okay. Okay, week 6 is on the road against the defending champion Los Angeles Rams. Fortunately, I'm gonna have to say a loss. They're just too strong of a team. Way too strong of a team. And that's a good argument. I'll say this, Jeff R. If it's any game on this schedule that I feel that could potentially be a trap game, I think it's the Niners. And also, we have to keep in mind as well, a part of my decision is a little bit based on what we've lost against in the past. I mean, we lost to Daniel Jones. We lost to Drew Lock. We lost to Taylor Heineke. I mean, we've lost to some average to mediocre quarterbacks. So, you know, that's my only argument I guess I have. That's my only argument. I just have a bad feeling that this is a trap game. And the 49ers don't have a running game, no Debo, no wide receivers. All they got is Kittle. Well, they got Bosa as well on the defense, who, you know, had their way with us. And yeah, you are right. Our offensive line is better. Our offensive line is better because of our inability to score, not due to defense. Well, that is a good that is true as well. That is a fair point. That is a fair point. That's a fair point. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I really, really hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I just in the back of my head, I know we've lost games that we had no business losing. Especially in the last two seasons. You know what I mean? So it's just it's the weirdest time for that to come out right now. Again, in that game in particular, but just that's what's going on in my head. That's what's going on in my head. Jeff R., you might have to shake me to death to shake that loose, because that's what's going on in my head. So you have permission to do that. You have permission to do that. Okay. So week 6, we all are in agreement. Lost to the champions. Week 6 against the Rams, we're all in agreement. Okay. Week 7. Fortunately, Week 7, I have to say a loss, just because Tampa Bay's still really, really strong. Tampa Bay's still really definitely a loss. Yeah, I hope we could give up a good fight though. I hope we put up a good fight. We put up a good fight against the Chiefs, so hopefully, some way, somehow, we can at least put up a good fight against the Rams. Tampa Bay, definitely a loss. Joe Valesco says loss as well. Yeah. So, dang. So, week 8 is the first meeting against the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. You know what? I'm going to be bold. I say Atlanta, that's a win for Carolina. Even in Atlanta. We've broken the curse convincingly. We've broken the curse. So, I think other 3 NFC South teams that we're going up against, I really feel like this is the year that we could sweep the Atlanta Falcons. Jeff R. says, whoa, fellas, time out. Is this based on Sam Darnold being our quarterback or Matt Corral? To be honest with you, Jeff R., I'm assuming Sam Darnold has the edge, but I don't know. It could be either way, but I'm assuming Sam Darnold. But don't take my word. Please don't take my word on that. I'm just saying. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. There's a lot that can happen between now and even August. So we'll see. We'll see. But but I do understand the concern. I do definitely understand the concern. I do. But okay, so Jeff R says I have no faith in Sam Darnold at all. Yeah, I know a lot of folks don't. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. I know a lot of folks have no faith in Sam Darnold. For sure. Totally get it. But at the same time, there's still the discussion up in the air about potentially bringing in another veteran quarterback. Because my thing is, and I had asked this question earlier, like around when I started the stream. Overall, are we really satisfied with this core of quarterbacks that we have on our team? Because here's the thing. Here's the thing we have to keep in mind. We put Matt Corral out there and he stinks it up with Matt Rule on the hot seat. It's not going to be a good look, y'all. Because then it's going to turn into, okay, are we going to be campaigning for another quarterback in next year's draft? And if that's the case, that's not a good look. Because that still shows that we're in quarterback purgatory and quarterback desperation. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm only looking at it as a fan, but I'm pretty sure a big percentage of the keep pounding Carolina Panther fan base isn't overall satisfied with our current core of quarterbacks. Let's just keep it real. Are y'all satisfied? I can't say that I'm satisfied personally. I would be lying to y'all if I said I was satisfied. Jeff R says we will win 5 games. Oh, if that happens, then Matt Rule, he got to get out. He got to go. Mr. Gemini says I really want to see how Sam Darnold will play behind this offensive line. Yeah, there are a handful of folks very curious to see if bring in Golden Corral. I like for Carolina to get Nick Foles. That's another name I've been hearing as well since he got released. Is the idea of Nick Foles. Jeff R said watched Darnold since he was in college. He makes the same mistakes. He is simply a bad decision maker. That's his MO. Watch the films. He throws most of his picks when he's not under pressure. That has been one of the main things that has been said across the board about Sam Darnold is ultimately his decision making. I mean, him seeing ghosts is one thing, but yeah, ultimately his decision making. The only thing is our organization took his 5th-year option, $18 million. We got to eat that. So we might as well see what we can do with him, I guess. But at the same time, a lot of people don't want Baker Mayfield. A lot of people don't want Jimmy Garoppolo. There seems to be some desire for Nick Foles. There seems to be, some desire for Nick Foles. Nick Foles, I know last game he played, he was a 3rd stringer, and I know the year before last he came off of a hip injury. So I'm really curious as to if Nick Foles is healthy, which he probably is. He probably is. Jeff R says because we're idiots. I mean, yeah, that's true. That is true. Super Treybo, welcome. Good to see you. Hey, Jason, how you doing? I'm doing good. How are you? That's a tough schedule if they can win 9 games at least in wild card. I think Rule keeps his job, and that'd be good if they win 9 to 10 games. Yeah, yeah. If they win enough games to even make a wild card spot, yeah, he definitely. I think he sealed his job for a little bit longer. Now, let's see. Oh yeah, Gardner Minshew was another name that was kind of bounced around, but I mean I just, I don't know. Like the whole quarterback carousel situation that Carolina's got going on. Just you know, some people want Cam Newton. Some people don't, and it's like I don't know. The organization and folks need to make up their mind because it's like why is it that they went out and they drafted the quarterback like a lot of people wanted, drafted the quarterback, but yet the quarterback carousel situation is still in the discussion. You know what I mean? So it's like, and it's already bad enough that Sam Darnold is not really the ideal candidate to mentor an up and coming quarterback. So, yeah. Jeff R says, we are eyeing Sean Payton all over the net. Wait, what? Sean Payton? What, for like a future coach? I have mixed feelings about that. I mean, I understand he has a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl with, a Drew Brees Saints. But didn't he also wasn't he also kind of behind the whole Bounty Gate scandal? Targeting players, Bounty Gate scandal. I don't know if I want somebody like that personally. I got mixed feelings about the idea of Sean Payton as our coach. Reaching Sean Payton after the season. Yeah, honestly, I'd be shocked. Because I have mixed feelings about that. I mean, I know he's got a decent resume, but the whole Bounty Gate, scandal, like, I don't know. I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I have mixed feelings about the idea of Sean Payton. Mr. Gemini says this means that they are not confident in Matt Rule. And even with the added coaching staff, I mean, there are folks there that could potentially take a spot as well. Although Ben McAdoo hasn't really had a good track record as a head coach, nor has Steve Wilkes. So that's the only thing with that. But, I mean, I don't know, y'all. Just, it's the whole idea that the fact that if Matt Rule is on the hot seat, does he really have time to develop a Matt Corral? Because the thing is, that's a whole lot of pressure to just like throw him out there day one starter, and if he ends up bombing, then I mean that's a wrap. But when you think about it, Matt Corral was a Ben McAdoo endorsement. Feels like he can work him into his system, our RPO friendly system. Ben McAdoo apparently has plans for Matt Corral. Now, we'll have to see how, training camp and practice and all that, if some way, somehow, even throughout preseason, if Matt Corral can even edge out and win the starting position. But that remains to be seen. But I just find it really interesting that, Baker Mayfield apparently still is some way, somehow in the discussion or up in the air. Just folks aren't in a rush. They're not in a rush. Nick Foles. The idea of getting Nick Foles. Gardner Minshew. I don't want Gardner Minshew personally. Jimmy Garoppolo, which honestly I'm feeling that it's less likely Jimmy Garoppolo happens, just because that's an expensive contract. And the thing with Baker Mayfield, if they do consider Baker Mayfield, it's most likely gonna be until after they release him. If the Browns release him. Because then again, not too sure. We might be playing against Baker Mayfield in the first game if Deshaun Watson isn't available due to legal matters. But at the same time, we've beaten Deshaun Watson every meeting we've had against Deshaun Watson, so I'm not worried. But anyway, where were we? So week 8 against Atlanta, we agreed on a victory. Week 9 on the road against the Bengals, the AFC champions. Week 9 against the AFC champions. Personally, I think this is going to be an L. Unless some way, somehow we can exploit their offensive line and take advantage of that, this will probably be a loss. Just Joe Burrow has been playing some great football. He's really come alive ever since bouncing back from his injury. That youngster is hungry. So, I'm thinking Bengals get the victory. But yeah, defending AFC champions. Because remember, we got to play the whole AFC North this year. Mr. Gemini says it's not looking too good. Super Trebo says they always seem to make us play Atlanta back-to-back weeks close. That's why it's so hard to sweep them. And they always seem to make us go against the Saints at the end of the season. LOL. You know something, Super Trebo? As a matter of fact, let's usher that into Week 10. Week 10 at home against Atlanta. I think we're going to sweep them. I just feel like their roster is very different than what we've gone against. Not really hardly much of a threat on offense. Defense, they could still do a little something. But I really feel that this is the year that we really should be able to sweep a team in the NFC South. And that looks to be at the Atlanta Falcons. So I'm going to say we sweep them. Who's with me? Who's with me that the Carolina Panthers will convincingly sweep the Atlanta Falcons? I know I can't be alone on this. I think we're going to get the sweep against Atlanta. We haven't done it in a long time. I think we're going to do it this year. Yeah, there you go, Joe Valesco. And I think Jeff R. said a win against Atlanta as well earlier. But yeah, I think we're going to sweep the Falcons. Super Trebo says, I want to say we sweep them. Last time the Panthers swept them was 2013. Yeah, that is true. So it's been a hot minute. So they're due a sweep. They are due a sweep, a cleaning, all of the above. Okay. This one's going to be kind of interesting. Week 11 on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. Week 11 on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. Honestly, this could probably go. This could probably go either way. But the Ravens have a strong defense. They've consistently have a strong defense. So let's see. Mr. Gemini says no quarterback, no wide receivers, sweep. Oh yeah, for Atlanta, yeah. I mean, to be fair, Atlanta did draft Drake London, and they do have Kyle Pitts, but that's about it. But they did draft Drake London, though. Joe Valesco says a loss. Mr. Gemini says a loss. Yeah, the Ravens, like I said, I don't know how Lamar Jackson's going to be because, he was pretty pissed about their draft. So, I mean, I don't know how Lamar Jackson's gonna be, but still, they still are a threat on defense. Yeah. It could be a win, but And then the last game before the bye is at home against the Denver Broncos. Week 12 against the Denver Broncos. Exit Drew Lock, enter Russell Wilson. Now, I mean, last time we played the Broncos, we lost to them, and we lost to Drew, behind a Drew Lock. I mean, I feel like we're definitely capable of beating the Broncos. I think we're definitely capable. I mean, they got a few notable names, which I think Jeff R picked a win for this one, but see, Mr. Gemini and Joe Valesco say a loss, or actually, Joe Valesco says a loss. Mr. Gemini, what do you think about this Broncos matchup? I think it can potentially be a win. I mean, I know we've had history with Russell Westbrook. We have Jerry Jeudy is even going to be available. So, you know what? Bump it. I'm going to say a win. I'm going to say a win. I'm going to say a win. So, my score right now, I know Jeff R had 7-5 going into the bye. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I too have 7-5. So, yeah, 7-5 going into the bye. I just think mine and Jeff R's is a little bit different on which teams win and which teams lose. But yeah, 7-5 going into the bye, which isn't too bad. But if that happens, that means the Panthers are going to really have to finish strong. They're going to have to finish strong in order to get into the playoffs. So, week 13's the bye. It's a late bye, but it's a bye. Jeff R made a good point earlier about the fact that the Seahawks are still pretty much in rebuilding mode, and they kind of have to decide on quarterback. I guess it's going to come down between Geno Smith and Drew Lock. But you know what? Even though it's in Seattle, which is a hard place to play, I don't really see a whole lot. I mean, they still got some names on offense. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. Possibly. Well, you know what? Nah, I'm a say a win. Hopefully a win. Should Pete Carroll go? Should he go? Probably. I don't know. But Joe Velasco's picking a win in this game for the Panthers. All right. Let's see. Let me check one thing. Okay. Y'all. It's at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the team who has had our number for years. And I'm going to tell you right now, big ol' L. Big ol' L. I do not see us beating the Steelers. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Even with a potentially debuting Kenny Pickett, you know, it's going to pretty much be either him or Mitchell Trubisky. You know, still got solid team, solid coach. Yeah, I don't see us beating the Steelers. And I'm just keeping it real. I don't see us beating the Steelers. So, a big ol' L. Okay, Week 16. Week 16 is at home against the Detroit Lions. The last home game of the year is against the Detroit Lions. And I'm putting a win down for that. Lions don't really look like a threat, to be honest. So I'm going to put a win for them. Okay. And then the last two games are away games. We got Super Trebo says, man, I wonder if we ever beat the Steelers, Jason. We beat them in the preseason. Actually, let me look it up. The Steelers are 6-1 all time against the Panthers. 6-1 all time against the Panthers. So in a regular season game, we've only beaten the Steelers one time. Out of 7 regular season meetings, we've only beaten the Steelers one time. Yeah. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. Oh, actually, no, that's a combination of, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Regular season. Yeah. They are 6-1 against us. So, that should answer your question, Super Trebo. We've beaten them once. I wonder what was the one time we beat them. Wow, so the last time we beat the Steelers was actually the very first meeting in Carolina Panthers franchise history. Their very first meeting. December 22nd of 96, the Panthers beat the Steelers 18-14 at home. So the very first meeting we've ever played against the Steelers in franchise history, the Panthers won and have not been able to beat them again since 1996. That's sad. That is sad. Yeah, man, that is sad. Not to mention, 2 of those games, the Steelers scored 37 points against us. And 2 of those games. That says something. Joe Valesco says, have you seen the new Panthers rookie numbers jerseys? I have, which I'll also go into those after I finish the schedule. Yeah, I will go into those as well. Super Trebo says, oh wow, last time they beat the Steelers, I was 11 years old. LOL, and I was getting Independence Day movie for Christmas '96. Nice. Yeah, I was in, let's see, 96. I was in sixth grade? 6th grade. Yeah, I was in 6th grade. But yeah. So that's an L. But like I said, we should beat the Lions. I picked a W against the Lions, which is a Christmas Eve game. It's a Christmas Eve game. Hey, what's up, Jimmy Claymore? Good to see you. All right, week 17 is on the road against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like I said, I don't see us beating them, so that's an L. And then week 18, the last game of the season, is on the road against the Saints for the second time. I'm going to say an L. Because, I mean, we might split. We probably will split with the Saints, but we could end up sweeping them. But I think we'll probably split. So, overall, I know Jeff R. said his prediction is 9-8 for the season. Let's see. Let me tally mine up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Actually, Jeff R. and I both predict 9-8. Slightly different predictions for some of the games, but Jeff R. and I are in agreement that this team finishes 9-8. Oh, Joe Valesco, you're saying loss to the Bucks, but a win against the Saints. Oh, so Joe Valesco, you believe we'll sweep the Saints, eh? Wow, so you believe we'll sweep the Saints and the Falcons. Honestly, if we sweep the Saints and Falcons, then we could be in the running for the division. But, okay. So, 9-8. This is what I'm thinking, 9-8. As hard of a schedule as this is, do they make it in? Even if it's a wild card, do they make it in with a record of 9-8? Personally, I'm going to say no. I could be wrong. But I don't know. I just have a feeling 9-8 will be a big improvement. It'll be an improvement, but I don't think it's enough for a playoff spot. And with that being said, I don't think you keep Matt Rule. Because, like I said before, it has to be playoffs. If it's 9-8 and we don't make the playoffs, he got to go. He got to go. We can't settle for just borderline. Oh, buddy, we got a better record. No. If it doesn't lead to playoffs, he got to go. Joe Velasco believes, yes. He says, yes, we will. This will be enough to make the playoffs. Anybody else? Joe Velasco says yes. I say no. But anybody else? Because it's an interesting thought. It's definitely an interesting thought. Let's see. While y'all are thinking of that, here are the rookie numbers. Rookie jersey numbers. Let's go. Ikem Ekwonu will wear number 79. Matt Corral will be wearing number 9, which I believe the last player that wore number 9, I want to say, was Rodney Peete. Linebacker Brandon Smith will be rocking number 40. Amari Barno will wear 46. Cade Mays will wear 64. Kalen Barnes will wear 35. Josh Babbitts. Wait, he's going to be rocking Moose's number? What? What? No way. He shouldn't get Moose's number. No. No. Why does he get Moose's number? That number should be retired. I'm sorry. I know Musa Muhammad wasn't a Steve Smith, but he was a dang on good receiver. And he was there first before Steve Smith. What the heck? Davis Cheek, quarterback out of Elon, number 4. So he's rocking number 4. Isaiah Graham Mobley gets 52. Limu Jones gets number 13. Running back John Lovett gets 37. Defensive tackle Marquand McCall gets number 78. Aaron Mosby gets number 90. Number 15 goes to Andrew Parchment. Number 85 goes to Charleston Rambo. What? He gets 85? No way. What the heck? I will tell you what, though. I really strongly feel like number 90 should be retired. Julius Peppers, I think that number should be retired with Carolina. Personally, I think it should be retired. Number 94 goes to Kalen Tolson. And number 83 goes to Derek Wright. So those are your numbers assigned to these rookies. And like I said, Robbie Anderson had his number changed from 11 to 3, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he had his number changed from 11 to 3. So there's that. But yeah. But like I said, overall, 9-8. Like I said, may or may not make the playoffs. Robin Harris, gotta go. And like I said, preseason, we got the Commanders, we got the Patriots, we got the Bills. Oh, so the Commanders, I'm sure we'll get a chance to see Sam Howell. See how the defense does against Sam Howell. So that ought to be a nice little game to kind of see what our rookies and such look like. I definitely expect to see Matt Corral definitely get some work in these preseason games. We'll probably see the dude from Elon as well. So, I'll definitely be checking out these preseason games at least just to see what the talent looks like. I don't expect a whole lot from the ones. And when you think about it, Sam Darnold, like, I think he barely played a preseason snap. But yeah, I'm definitely excited. Oh, Jeff R says, yeah, I'm excited about Corral. Yeah, me too. Like, I'm actually looking forward to seeing him in action. I want to see how Amari Barno, Brandon Smith, Kalen Barnes. I want to see how our draft picks look. Cade Mays, will get to see him in there. Like, really see how our depth looks. So I'm definitely excited. Just, even with the preseason games, because I really want to see everyone get evaluated and such. So I'm definitely very excited. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of interesting competition. Even at quarterback. At wide receiver. I mean, we're going to see some slightly different looks at wide receiver as well. Tight ends. See how that goes. Our O-line, our beefed up O-line. Our beefed up O-line, I feel like, is going to be the tone setter. I think the O-line and whoever's at quarterback, Sam Darnold, Matt Corral, is going to have to be the tone setter on offense to really get this going. I know that sounds crazy, but maybe, just maybe, with consistent protection, who knows? Maybe by some shades of a miracle, maybe Sam Darnold actually starts making good, consistent decisions. And I feel like that's what a lot, there's the handful of folks out there that are hopeful that with him getting consistent protection, that he can flourish. Because I don't think we can 100% confidently say that Sam Darnold has ever had consistent protection. There may have been some games where he has had a little bit better protection than others, but I don't think we can safely say with confidence that Sam Darnold has had consistent protection in his NFL career. I can't really say anything about college because I didn't keep up, so y'all have to school me when it comes to that, but I don't know. I just feel like in his NFL career, he hasn't had consistent protection. And then when you think about it, Deshaun Watson hasn't had consistent protection in his career, but at the same time, I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, Deshaun Watson's a much better quarterback, so I mean, there's that. But yeah, it'll be. Jeff R says not a chance. Dang, so even with the beefed up O line and consistent protection, still gonna fail. Still believe he'll fail. Well, you know what some fans will say? Well, we won the first 3 games with Sam Darnold. We won the first 3. I don't know. But I hope he gets it right. I mean, he's on our team. I hope he gets it right. I do. I really do. He's not my quarterback. That's for, well, he's not a lot of people's quarterback. But I hope he gets it right. I mean, he's still here for a reason. They took him up on the 5th-year option. So we unless somebody else wants him or wants to trade for him, we're stuck with Mr. Darnold. We're stuck with Mr. Darnold. So there's the only thing with that. But hey, maybe he will, maybe he won't. Might end up turning into one of those. He gets off to a good start and then just bombs. Oh yeah, now that I think about it, Carson Wentz. We'll probably see some Carson Wentz in that what you call it? That preseason game with what quarterback has had consistent protection? Well, I mean, in the earlier years, Carson Wentz, I mean, 2017, I felt like he had good protection. Only got sacked 28 times total. I mean, in a season, only sacked 28 times. That's not that bad in a whole season. Let me see. I mean, shoot. When did hold up. I mean, shoot. I mean, the Rams, I would say the Rams had good consistent protection this season. I mean, shoot, the Rams? What about the Rams? Shoot, they had a very solid production from their O-line. I mean, it exists. It definitely exists. Playing some of his best football in his entire career in said year. Not to mention the year where he threw 5,000 yards, he got sacked more times then than he did this year. So, and not to mention there was a time where the Colts for a couple of years in a row had solid offensive line. So I mean, it exists. It exists. It's just, is it hard to come by? But Joe Burrow has a terrible offensive line, and he made it to the Super Bowl. They also have a better overall team. They have a better overall team. Not to mention, look at the numbers he put up versus the numbers Sam Darnold put up. It's still different. It's still very much different. I mean, yeah, they were 10-7, and not to mention, look at the teams that they beat. We have a good team too. Apparently not last year. Jeff R. I'm just saying. I would like to think we on paper had a good team, but apparently not last year. maybe on paper, sure, but we only ended up getting 5 wins. Not to mention, if we go position for position, we are better than them. I don't know, because it was because of Sam we can't score. Well, defense had their faults too. I mean, we couldn't stop the run. We couldn't stop the run. Our red zone offense and defense were kind of eh. I mean, our defense did a little better in the red zone than our offense, but not to mention we really didn't capitalize on turnovers. I mean, when we were Thieves Avenue, Carolina used to get turnovers, used to get interceptions, as well as fumbles. I mean, we got some forced fumbles last year, but not really much for interceptions or turnovers. I mean, like I said, I feel like definitely when it came to both, the offense and defense, the offense definitely struggled more than the defense. Sure, absolutely. But defense took their lumps as well. They're on the field the entire game. They get tired. Offense was always 3 and out. What about the Commanders game? I mean, what about the Commanders game? I mean, that's a big example right there. The Giants game. I mean, Giants game, which, I put a little more emphasis on offense, but still, we could have, we still gave up 23 points. Still gave up 23 points. So, for us, let's just say I am extremely shocked that supposedly at the end of the season we finished the, second ranked defense. But I find it very hard to believe with how that season ended up being that we somehow finished the second ranked defense. I'm sorry, but typically the second ranked defense doesn't land on a 5-win team, on a 5-12 team. That's yeah. And also when you think about it, I guess with the, I guess you look at the Texans. I mean, Deshaun Watson was able to score, but they ended up finishing with 4 wins last time Deshaun played. And, they were able to score a lot more than we were able to, that's for sure. If we can't score, it puts pressure on our defense. Well, here's the thing. What's the saying that they say, Jeff R? Defense wins championships? Well, I'm not saying that's 100% true, but that's the thing these days is defense wins championships. So and not to mention, we have to also. Oh, hold up, went too far. Let me go back. I definitely will agree. The clearly the offense struggled more. Definitely the offense struggled more than the defense. That's a definite. That's a definite. My only thing is this. That's only if your offense gives you a chance to make the stop. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We got to look at a lot of these past games, I mean, we look at specifically the losses. Because, I mean, in the wins, we looked very good in the wins. We looked good in the wins. But in the losses, I mean, we gave up 36 points against Dallas. Philadelphia, I will say that was definitely on the offense. Definitely on the offense. But, I mean, you know, we gave up 36 against Dallas. Defense dropped the ball in Minnesota. Because Sam Darnold did lead that offense to a game-tying drive that put them into overtime. At the end of the day, defense dropped the ball on that Minnesota game. I got to keep it real on that. Let's see. The Giants game. Giants game, 25-3. I mean, offense struggled, but I mean, yeah, I get it. 30 ranked offense, second ranked defense. I get it. I definitely get it. But defense had holes. Defense definitely had holes. And a big hole defense had was run defense. A big hole was run defense. I mean, you know, despite how the offense does, and like I said, you know, a complete game is very important, but for us to have had a second-ranked offense, we weren't invincible on not as many turnovers as we usually do, but at the same time, we haven't been able to consistently capitalize on turnovers on offense. So that also is true. The main point that I'm making is for us to have been deemed the second-ranked offense, or excuse me, second-ranked defense, it surely did not look like it a lot of those times. It didn't look like it. And just, I don't know. I feel like having a second-ranked defense would vastly help translate more wins. You know? I just really feel like it would translate into, and especially into more than 5 wins. 5 wins. Second ranked defense, 5 wins. That's all. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but honestly, there was no really good defense outside the Rams. Were they number one? Were the Rams number one? I guess the Rams were number one. Yeah, there are plenty of good offensive teams. Absolutely. Not to mention, I mean, let's keep it real. Christian McCaffrey getting hurt really, I mean, that was a safety blanket taken away from Sam Darnold once McCaffrey got hurt. So, but hopefully, and then again, let's keep it real. Having now that you mention it, having what's his face? Joe Brady. Having Joe Brady, he was abysmal. I will say that he was abysmal as our offensive coordinator. So Jeff R, you got a good argument with that because he was abysmal. with our play calling. Oh my God. Yeah. Now that you mention it, that definitely adds into the 30 ranked offense. Because oh man, that play calling was abysmal. Out of a wannabe uh, offensive coordinator with passing coordinator the whole entire time. Oh my God. Woo. But if anything, I just really feel like still Bengals Panthers are like night and day. And we might end up seeing that later this year. But we'll see. But yeah, 9-8. Like I said, it could possibly get us into a playoff spot. Probably not. One thing's for sure. As far as the NFC South, I think we get swept by the Bucks. I think we'll sweep the Falcons, and we potentially split with the Saints. So 3-3 in the division, not too bad. Not too bad. So 9-8, 3-3 in the division. Another question. You know what? I'm going to just go ahead and throw this out there. Who starts week 1? Who starts week 1? As much as I would like for it to potentially be Matt Corral, I have a feeling that Sam Darnold starts week 1. What do y'all think? I just have a feeling that he's going to start week 1. Corral should, but Sam probably will. Oh, speaking of which, did y'all hear about Matt Corral? This dude is already starting off making a statement. Apparently, there was like some sort of player or something like that. There was somebody that was contemplating suicide, and Matt Corral was able to reach out and share his number with the guy so that he can talk to him. And apparently he was able to talk to him and convince him, from doing that. Did y'all hear about that? Apparently Matt Corral actually reached out and actually was like, hey, DM him my number. Like, let me get his number. Get him my number to him. And legit, like, talk to him, like, and convince him to not go through with it. Like, when I heard about that, I was like, whoa, okay. That's quite a way to start for Matt Corral. That's quite a start. Leadership. Yeah, absolutely. That's very awesome. That's very awesome. Sam wouldn't do that. Well, Sam doesn't really show a lot of emotion, so Sam Darnold's just kind of there. But yeah, I think that's very cool. And having somebody like that on our team that can make an impact like that off the field. And there's even, areas in Matt Corral's life that he's gotten together. That he's gone through his hardships and has been able to get it together, and I think the only thing is, just to put a few things into perspective. Definitely, this is potentially Matt Corral's job to win. He could. Is it very possible he could win the starting position? Absolutely, absolutely. Especially with OTAs and everything, and say he gets on the field in preseason and puts up some good results, makes some good decisions. I mean, he's already being endorsed by Ben McAdoo. Ben McAdoo, he's looking forward to working with him. And then we got Sean Ryan, who's had some success with quarterbacks, and he's we got him as quarterbacks coach. So I mean, I don't know, y'all. With a combo of that, but then at the same time, will Matt Rule have the invested time to help evolve and build up Matt Corral? Because that's gonna be a big thing. That's gonna be a big thing for him. And then you got a lot of those out there that are just let's keep it real. There are some out there that do look forward to Sam Darnold bombing so that Matt Corral does get a shot. And I mean, I'm not saying that is a good way to look at it, but it could happen. Sean has a good track record of developing quarterbacks. Yeah, and that's why it's another good thing that he's going to get the opportunity with Matt Corral. And I really feel like, if not starter, he's probably going to at least beat out P.J. Walker. No offense to P.J. Walker, but he's probably going to at least beat out P.J. Walker. But at the same time, there's also that problem of, quarterback mentorship. And, that's not there. So the best bet, I guess, is really going to be mentorship through Ben McAdoo and Sean Ryan, which I don't know if that's enough, but I mean, you see quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, who did he sit behind? Brett Favre. I mean, Tom Brady, or not Tom Brady. Matt Castle. Jimmy Garoppolo. Who are they behind? I mean, Tom Brady. So I mean, that level of mentorship just, I feel like, goes a long way. But Sam Darnold doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. But yeah, y'all. Like I said, I feel good about what this team is potentially capable of. But it's looking like, just based off of this for now, it's looking like a potential 9-8 season, which is an improvement. But what would it really kind of lead to, with Matt Rule, with Sam Darnold? Because when you think about it, after this season, unless Sam Darnold wins Comeback Player of the Year, he's gone. He's gone. So there's just something to think about. But I got a good feeling. Like, it's a hard schedule, but I think with the people that we have and the people that we're getting back, I think can definitely do some things. And our coaching staff, if they just let them do their thing, it'll be good. And then there's the whole situation about what the cap will be like next season, because that's something that has been pointed out, that Carolina would be over the cap after, next season. So hopefully they'll be able to get that straightened out when that time comes. Which I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. But yep. Schedule is set. Jeff R says they're a really good free 80. Earlier commented on my last stream. Maybe bring back a Morgan Fox. I wouldn't mind bringing back a Star Latulele. Maybe beef up that interior D line. James Bradbury feels like more of a luxury than a need. I feel like that's more of a luxury. I mean, like I said, on offense, I mean, we'll see what happens with the whole quarterback situation, but I mean, some even say maybe upgrade at safety, which, I mean, I felt like we got Xavier Woods, but I mean, I don't know if a lot of folks are fans of the fact that Justin Burris is coming back. They did re-sign him. So, and also, looking on Twitter, thinking about Ike Ekwonu, he's gonna really be tested. I mean, against the Browns, potentially going up against Myles Garrett, against the against the Giants, going up against Leonard Williams, Kayvon Thibodeau. The Saints having to go up against Cam Jordan or Marcus Davenport. Against the Cardinals, Zach Allen, J.J. Watt. Against the Niners, Nick Bosa. So Ike Ekwonu, he's going to be tested early. So hopefully the Pancake King will show up. Now, also, a couple of other things to note. The Panthers did make the roster to 90 by releasing offensive lineman Aaron Monteiro and wide receiver Aaron Parker. So with that being done, the roster's at 90. And apparently, word is that the Bills attempted to reach out to the Panthers about Christian McCaffrey, but we're told that he is not available. He's off the table. So Christian McCaffrey off the table. Let's see. Oh. So I don't know how accurate this is, but supposedly door of communication is open once again about Cam Newton. I don't know if is back open again with Cam Newton. But don't take my word on that. Don't take my word on that. But we'll see what happens. And like I said, once again, happy birthday to Steve Smith, my overall favorite Panther of all time. Best wide receiver in Panthers franchise history. This is interesting. Article on Cat Crave. What can the Carolina Panthers expect from the 2022 schedule? Oh, well, nothing really specific. It'll pretty much make or break Coach Matt Rule as coach. Jeff R says a new coach. Well, it could happen. It could happen. It could happen. The Mr. 5 wins. Five time. Back to back. 5 time. Mr. 5 wins. 5. But yeah, could happen. Could definitely happen. Not many fans, not hardly any fans of Matt Rule. Okay, so apparently, so the Saints game, that week 18, that last game, the Saints game, will either be on January 7th or the 8th. So just a FYI, that'll be on either the 7th or the 8th. And so about that salary cap. So the Panthers are supposedly projected to be $28.34 million over the cap next year. I still think that they can address that. I think they can fix and address that. Oh, David 090776. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. But yeah, I think that's something that they can get cleared up. $28.34 million. My Chemical Romance is back. I didn't know they were ever gone. Although I did get a chance to see them live. Very first concert I went to was a Linkin Park concert, and they were one of the main acts, My Chemical Romance. Pretty cool to listen to live. They were great. But yeah, I didn't know they were ever gone. But yeah, that's awesome. But let's see. But yeah. But that concludes the Carolina Panthers 2022 schedule reveal party, I guess you could say. But yeah, like I said, when the time comes and we do each of these games, we'll do like usual. We'll do the weekly preview and such, and just, see what we have going along the season. And like I said, anything can happen between now and August and such, which they haven't scheduled the preseason games yet. Each of those preseason games are still to be announced, to be determined. So, but I'm sure they're going to be in August at some time, or like late August, something like that. So definitely look forward to that. But you know what? I'm just ready. I'm just ready for them to get to work. I'm excited. We'll see what happens. It's a tough schedule, but we'll see how this team does. We'll see how they do. But anyway, thank y'all so much for coming through. For your comments, for your predictions, overall thoughts. I very much appreciate it. Like I said, this is quite a schedule for the Panthers, and it's gonna be a challenge, but hopefully, with the moves that we've made, and hopefully a few more to follow, we can, I don't know, make this season an interesting season in a good way. Next one. Thank you so much, and thank you for coming through, and thank you for your breakdown as well. Always appreciate that, Jeff R. But yes, everybody, thank y'all for coming through. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, all the above. Hit that notification bell as well. And yeah, once again, happy birthday to Steve Smith Sr., Agent 89. I wish they had a Funko Pop of him. I'd buy him in a heartbeat. But Agent 89, 43 years old. Shoot, Steve Smith could probably still go. He probably could still go. Probably could still go. Shoot. But anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. This has been another Carolina Panthers talk, live edition, across the U to the Tube, the Le Twitch, and the Le Facebook. Brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. Just to give a heads up, I'm going to be traveling quite a bit next week, so might not see a whole lot of me next week, but just pray for safe travels. I'll be going to Ohio. Anyway, I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram of Blitzball Champ Gaming. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much, and I hope y'all have a blessed, safe weekend. Go have some fun. Eat some good food. Don't get into too much trouble. But most of all, be safe and be blessed. Take care. Good night, everybody. Peace out.